If we could change ourselves, the tendencies in the world would also change. As a man changes his own nature, so does the attitude of the world change towards him. We need not wait to see what others do. A man is but the product of his thoughts. What he thinks, he becomes. The greatness of humanity is not in being human, but in being humane. Earth provides enough to satisfy every man's needs, but not every man's greed. You must not lose faith in humanity. Humanity is like an ocean. If a few drops of the ocean are dirty, the ocean does not become dirty. An error does not become truth by reason of multiplied propagation, nor does truth become error because nobody sees it. Truth stands, even if there be no public support. It is self-sustained. I will not let anyone walk through my mind with their dirty feet. In a gentle way, you can shake the world. Nobody can hurt me without my permission. Live as if you were to die tomorrow. Learn as if you were to live forever. Happiness is when what you think, what you say, and what you do are in harmony. We may never be strong enough to be entirely non-violent in thought, word and deed. But we must keep non-violence as our goal and make strong progress towards it. Change yourself, you are in control. When restraint and courtesy are added to strength, the latter becomes irresistible. The weak can never forgive. Forgiveness is the attribute of the strong. If I had no sense of humor, I would long ago have committed suicide. It is unwise to be too sure of one's own wisdom. It is healthy to be reminded that the strongest might weaken and the wisest might err. Your beliefs become your thoughts become your words become your actions become your habits become your values become your destiny. Nearly everything you do is of no importance, but it is important that you do it. Freedom is not worth having if it does not include the freedom to make mistakes. My religion is based on truth and non-violence. Truth is my God. Non-violence is the means of realizing Him. The best way to find yourself is to lose yourself in the service of others. To call woman the weaker sex is a libel. It is man's injustice to woman. If by strength is meant moral power, then woman is immeasurably man's superior. It is better to be violent, if there is violence in our hearts, than to put on the cloak of non-violence to cover impotence. Love is the strongest force the world possesses. All the religions of the world, while they may differ in other respects, unitedly proclaim that nothing lives in this world but truth. Non-violence is a weapon of the strong. Non-violence is the greatest force at the disposal of mankind. It is mightier than the mightiest weapon of destruction devised by the ingenuity of man. A no uttered from the deepest conviction is better than a yes merely uttered to please, or worse, to avoid trouble. Power is of two kinds. One is obtained by the fear of punishment and the other by acts of love. power based on love is 1,000 times more effective and permanent than the one derived from fear of punishment. I object to violence because when it appears to do good, the good is only temporary, the evil it does is permanent. An eye for an eye will only make the whole world blind. When I despair, I remember that all through history the way of truth and love have always won. There have been tyrants and murderers, and for a time, they can seem invincible, but in the end, they always fall. Think of it always. All compromise is based on give and take, but there can be no give and take on fundamentals. Any compromise on mere fundamentals is a surrender. For it is all give and no take. Prayer is not asking. It is a longing of the soul. It is daily admission of one's weakness. It is better in prayer to have a heart without words than words without a heart. You can chain me, you can torture me, you can even destroy this body, but you will never imprison my mind. A man who was completely innocent, offered himself as a sacrifice for the good of others, including his enemies, and became the ransom of the world. It was a perfect act. The difference between what we do and what we are capable of doing would suffice to solve most of the world's problems. The moment there is suspicion about a person's motives, everything he does becomes tainted. I do believe that, where there is only a choice between cowardice and violence, I would advise violence. I would rather have India resort to arms in order to defend her honor than that she should, in a cowardly manner, become or remain a helpless wight. If by strength is meant moral power, then woman is immeasurably man's superior. Strength does not come from physical capacity. It comes from an indomitable will. If we are to teach real peace in this world, and if we are to carry on a real war against war, we shall have to begin with the children. If I have the belief that I can do it, I shall surely acquire the capacity to do it even if I may not have it at the beginning. Glory lies in the attempt to reach one's goal and not in reaching it. To give pleasure to a single heart by a single act is better than 1,000 heads bowing in prayer. I like your Christ, I do not like your Christians. Your Christians are so unlike your Christ. Let the first act of every morning be to make the following resolve for the day. I shall not fear anyone on earth. I shall fear only God. I shall not bear ill will toward anyone. I shall not submit to injustice from anyone. I shall conquer. Each night, when I go to sleep, I die. And the next morning, when I wake up, I am reborn.